A former president of St. John's Pride says the first day of Pride Week this year has been marred. Noah Davis-Power says the suggestion that RNC officers are welcome to march in the Pride Parade but not in uniform is a step backwards and an insult. We've reached Noah Davis-Power in Ottawa. Well, Noah, this hasn't been an issue before that I know of. Where do you think the idea came from this year?
You know, Debbie, it hasn't been an issue in past years, and I was at St. John's Pride a number of years ago, and it wasn't an issue then. What I can only infer this year is that St. John's Pride is trying to show some sort of solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement, especially the demonstration that they held at the Toronto Pride Parade last week.
And they were not happy to have police in uniform there?
No, they weren't. It was actually one of their demands that going forward with Pride Toronto that police not take part in the actual parade itself.
So what do you think, though, is the message being sent by asking police to come, but preferably not in uniform here in St. John's?
Well, unfortunately, I think it is a step backwards, where the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary, the RNC, have been very supportive of the community in St. John's. They've been very supportive of St. John's Pride itself, both financially and morally. They paraded their mounted unit in the parade last year, and like I said, financially they have been contributors to the organization and the celebration annually for a number of years now.
Now, we spoke to a woman who's with the MUN Student Union who says Pride has always been about marginalized groups, and she thinks their rights need to be balanced with those of the gay police officers. So what's your reaction to that?
Now, I can't speak for the MUN Students Union. I never have been able to do it. But I think that instead of arbitrarily saying that one group can or cannot march, that if there are complaints and concerns from the community, that the Pride organization has a responsibility to consult the community and actually put in place a process. It's a dispute resolution process. Instead of arbitrarily handing down a judgment. In Pride Toronto, they actually have such a dispute process, and like I said, if this was an issue and St. John's Pride was getting complaints, they should have the process instead of having the board hand out a judgment. It's easy to set up, it involves a lot of people in the community and is a great venue for community members to express their concerns if there in fact are any. So the Pride Board hasn't been very forthcoming in their explanation of their ask to the RNC not to wear their blue uniforms. So perhaps this would be the step forward, is to put in place this dispute resolution process to handle any future complaints or concerns about who can and cannot march in the parade.
Just remind us, Noah, of the history of the Pride Parade and the LGBTQ's relationship with the police.
Well, it has been a very bumpy road coming forward across Canada, in Newfoundland and Labrador as well. It's been no different. But just for example, in Toronto, we did get an apology this year from the police chief for the 1981 bathhouse raids. So we've come a long way. It's just very shocking that today in 2016, instead of the police, who at that point in 1981 were telling us what we could and could not wear, gay men in particular, in public or at bars, and previous to 81, that we now as the Pride organization are telling the police officers what they can and cannot wear. It seems inverted irony, but I don't think it's appropriate for this year, for any year, because we're past that now.
And just on a final point, Noah, do you think Pride Week celebrations here can get back on track after this rocky start?
I do think that they can. I hope that they can anyway. I think that the Pride organization year after year continues to grow and get better. The community involvement becomes more prevalent every year. So I think that now that hopefully the RNC are able to march in whatever they choose, whether it's plain clothes or their uniforms, we will have a great Pride parade to cap off the week, as it were. So happy Pride to everybody. I have the utmost faith in the community and the organization. So there we have it.
Noah Davis-Power, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.